Updating the sideboard. Mulliganing this hand. Okay, we can keep this one. We can put back a land. What is cool about the expedition maps is like you can get like a Castle Locthwain. Oh, dude, we're playing at Storm again. I guess I drew a Thoughtseize. I'll cast Thoughtseize here. Take the barrel. Yeah, Storm was one of our losses last league. Storm is back, baby. Back in a big way, I guess. They rebanned the expedition map, it's obviously fine. They may reban this one just to cycle, which is fine too. Mastermind's Acquisition is an embarrassing card to play in your modern deck. We're not doing it. Again, it's like people don't understand like Profane Tutors is so much better at setting up Cabal Coffers Urborg. It's like really good at it. Okay, yeah, I think I can't play Liliana into the remand here. I think that would be a mistake. It is possible I was supposed to tutor up a Cabal Coffers this turn and play it, but then they like are more likely to cycle their remand on the map, which maybe I'm okay with. Yeah, Storm is on the rise. Yeah, it's finally time for Infect to come back. Yeah, Storm did well at the Hunter Burden and did well at the PTQ last weekend. Storm is like, I think like a big reason why like people haven't been playing Storm is that nobody's trying to, because I have 5 mana, right? 5 mana. Okay, I think I'm going to play Liliana, let it get remanded, then crack a map for another Cabal Coffers. I hope to not be dead. Yeah, I think people are just kind of realizing the meta's really open. Is Blast Zone worth playing in a deck like this? I know that Trellon plays it. You could play a Blast Zone. I think it's probably not that necessary, but I think it's fine to play. Alright, I think we're dead, chat. Okay, we're not deterministically dead. A Gibson Given plus a mana creature plus 3 mana floating is deterministically a kill. I think it's usually good form to just, you know, show your opponent if you have it. I do have to bin both rituals, right? If I don't bin both rituals, they have 3 mana, this costs 3. I guess I don't actually have to. Because if they're trying to, like, find a ritual off Manamorphose, giving them the Manamorphose is a problem. They have another ritual in their hand. Okay, no, they don't. We can't think that... If they have another ritual in their hand, we're 100% deterministically dead. And it doesn't matter. So, like, we have to act like they don't have a ritual in their hand anyways, right? But if I give them 2 rituals in their hand here... Or, sorry, if I give them... If I bin Manamorphose Desperate Ritual, I give them Ritual Pass and Flames, they get up to 3 mana, but then they cast Pass and Flames and they can't do anything else. So I think I actually have to bin Manamorphose Ritual, and it's operating under the assumption they don't have a ritual in their hand. Because if they find a ritual off the Manamorphose, we lose. And they you know, they had the ritual in their hand, but like that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that they had the ritual in their hand because we were deterministically dead to it, you know, no matter what. I know that people are kind of like coming back to Storm, just like as a... I think, you know, it's obviously like not something I expect anybody to be in the habit of these days. But I do think that if you are playing Storm, a good habit to be in, especially if you're playing as like an experienced player, is if they're tapped out and you're going for the kill. I guess now that Solitude exists, that's not true anymore. But like 3 mana, but I think a lot of players still know that 3 mana plus 3 mana plus gifts plus mana creature is deterministically a kill. So like this, I think. Keep this. Always been the rituals and pray to Jesus. Well, I think in that spot it was my line was absolutely correct because we were dead. Like we were dead to another ritual or Manamorphose anyways. So stopping them from being able to find one off the Manamorphose was like really my only chance I could have possibly won from that spot. By giving them ritual, I was dead to land drop 5. Wasn't that turn 4? I guess, yeah, so if they had missed their land drop, or if they haven't hit their land drop, then I think you're You're right that was a mistake then. Yeah, I thought that they had hit their land drop, but if they hadn't, then yeah, you're right about that. So it's good for me if my opponent remands this. It's, you know, fine if they don't, obviously, too. But now I've got a remand. I can play off the Voidwalker. Exiling the Passion Flame seems pretty nice. I've got Damnation for empty. Pretty clear line. Is Tool Storm a better option than Give Storm? I was under that assumption. Yeah, I'm not sure if it still is. Just time will tell, I guess. I play Storm. Sometimes you have to go get the pieces really near the graveyard. In this case, you have Lethal Gauntlet. Sometimes you want more cards. Yeah, exactly. Like in that spot, you'll take the line my opponent took, and then if your opponent messes up and gives you both rituals, or maybe messes up is not exactly what the term to use. But in that spot, I guess I should get the Urborg. Would kind of prefer to get a Coffers, but the fact that this lets me Voidwalker here is probably too important. Still keeping up the remand here. Yeah, I agree. Like, there's just like a pretty good chance, like, you either find something off the Manamorphose that you cycle with, or you just get to win the following turn. So ritual, empty. Okay, this is fine. I might cast my own Into the Warrens. It's kind of funny. Okay, so they're gonna Grape Shot, killing both of my guys, which is fine also. So, okay, so hold on. 1, 1, 1, 1. So I go cast Remands here. I save my Voidwalker. And then I can go Voidwalker, target empty, Damnation, get 4 Goblin tokens. I can also, I think it's probably better to go Voidwalker, cast Ritual. Then Karn, Damnation. And then okay, and they just concede. Could have Grape Shot the Goblins away there. This was better, I think. That was a pretty cool line. Why not empty there for Higher Storm? I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. My line seemed pretty good though, I think. Okay, well, just like last time we played against Storm, lost game 1, won game 2. Let's see if we can win game 3 this time. Empty during their empty. Oh, I see. A Voidwalker, you have to maintain timing restrictions with Voidwalker. You cannot cast sorcery speed spells at instant speed with Voidwalker. But I also had Damnation in my hand, so like that line is also like worse if I plan on just Damnationing the Goblins, but I understand now what you're asking. Well, 2 1-landers feels horrible. Let's put back, I think, a Voidwalker. Maybe just 2 Voidwalkers here. They also kept 7. Yeah, 24 lands, by the way. Spike plays 18 land decks, gets mana flooded. 24 land decks, gets mana screwed. Nothing matters. So they're land light if they're considering in response. Was the only change? -1 Archon, +1 map. Remove the map for Cyber from Wurmcoil. Yes, I'm pretty sure that should be reflected also in the Stream Decker. Okay, pretty Thoughtseizable hand. See if they find a land. Bummer. That being said, their hand is still like not that good. We can go Thoughtseize their pieces of the puzzle, play Expedition map, and then maybe set up for a Tourach in a couple turns. land, bummer. At least we know their exact hand. Ritual, Grape Shot, Wish. So this is 3, 4. Yeah, they don't have nearly enough to Wish for Grape Shot in one go. Ooh, Brawl is kind of scary though. Pretty sure I'm just supposed to Tourach them. We hit Grapeshot Wish, so the hand is just 2 rituals. If they draw gifts off the top, we lose. They drew an island. Okay, now we're happy with them hitting the runner lands. Castle Locthwain, so now I have access to 7 mana, right? I'm starting to get a little bit better at the math. Yeah, so I think I'm going to play Karn. And I think I play Spellbomb and Voidwalker here. Because like we're like very much kind of fragile to their graveyard on this board. I think I'll leave the Tourach back to block so they can't ping my Karn for 1 with an attack. Was Karn for Torment Script a better line? I don't have Torment Script, I just have now Spellbomb. I don't know. You could maybe play both, but it's just tough to fit everything in. And still play enough cards to cut your pushes and damnations against big mana combo control. We need an abbreviation. BMCC. Hope that's not already an abbreviation for something super dirty. Kind of sounds like it. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. Okay, we can keep this. That's a Murktide Death Shadow deck that won the Super Qualifier. I think that's a totally fine way to build the archetype. I do think that Grixis Shadow is probably not still solved. I don't think it's immediately solved there. But I do think that's playable, viable, lots of ways to build it that seem really reasonable. And something I intend to do some work on too, of course. Cabal Stronghold, each basic swamp. Yeah? A little bit worse, huh? There's also 3 mana in tap instead of 2 mana in tap. But it does tap for a colorless by itself, so it's not strictly worse. Am I crazy for thinking Enchantress is a good spot? A lot of EE, Tron or Blood Moon a good place? I mean, I don't know that I think Enchantress is good, with like Titan and Storm being really popular, or being more popular. I don't know. I also like am, I guess, known Enchantress hater aspiring Spike. Is there any way to get the new Kamigawa basic lands for free? Or do you need to buy them? I think you have to buy them. They're not super expensive though. I don't remember how much I bought mine for, but it was like, I think I got like, you can get like 10 for $1 or something. I haven't seen this deck yet. Looks crazy. I've probably seen it. Whatever it is. Is it the Tamashi deck? If so, I have seen the Tamashi deck. Yeah, maybe Enchantress is good, but like, I don't know. I'm still just not that interested in it. Okay, we're playing against Rhinos. So if they Cascade next turn, I can go Karn for Sphere of Annihilation on 1, which is my tech for the matchup. Kind of really surprising, actually. I basically always ice on turn 2. I can't remember, like, yeah, I would have probably iced there. I don't know exactly what their hand looks like. I also don't know what their heart looks like. Maybe I should Profane Tutor this turn. Because they didn't Cascade here. I can, like, maybe just push a Rhino if they do have Violent Outburst. Scarred Stitcher Supplier? Yeah, I think that'd be fine. I think that'd be totally fine. Wish Profane Tutor was castable for 4 or 5. I legitimately think it would be too good. Profane Tutor, like, being 2 mana is actually, like, pretty strong. Like, starting your turn with a 0 mana tutor, I think is, like... I think maybe people underrate how strong that is. But that is a pretty powerful thing to be able to just start your turn with a 0 mana tutor. Okay, so I have 6 mana here, I think. 7 mana. Okay, so I think I just Karn for Bridge now. There's a good chance, like, they have got interaction for this, but then I've got Damnation, and then, like, Profane Tutor for Archon of Cruelty, maybe. What's cool about Archon of Cruelty against Rhinos is that if they bounce it, you're actually just hard casting it again. They probably have an answer for this, but then also if they attack my Karn, I'm pretty happy. Yeah, it's just like getting to start your turn with a 0 mana tutor. Like every it's so strong, and it works really well with the Cabal Coffers Urborg plan too. Because like on turn 4 is when Cabal Coffers Urborg comes online, and so in turn 4 is when Profane Tutor comes off suspend. I think Archon is going to win us this game. Obviously a little early to say, but like They just kind of don't have a good answer to this, right? Because I just get to keep replaying it if they bounce it. Like, Reanimator, they bounce your Archon, it's a problem. It's not really a problem for this deck. Yeah, Karn can get back at Bridge at some point, yeah. Is this like Mono Blacktron? Yeah, I think this deck, calling it Mono Blacktron is probably pretty accurate. Yeah, parry this. Having a lot of fun with this deck too. What changes to make from the first league? I cut the map from the sideboard because I feel like you're actually just never gonna Karn for it, or almost never, not often enough. And then we added a Wurmcoil to the sideboard, which was something I had yesterday, and I wanted again. And then we cut the second Archon for the map, which I think was a good change too. Kind of like more Profane Tutors. Well, we're already playing. So I guess they have a burn spell, so I'll just push. We're already playing 3. I don't think you could play the 4th copy, but I think that 4 map 3 tutors is probably a good number. I don't think you're wrong for wanting to play the 4th. I heard Evan say on stream he inspired thought black is the worst color. Do I agree? Yeah, I think it's like pretty easily the worst color. I say as I play a mono black deck. But I mean, it is also the case that even though black is the worst color, whatever that means, it's still playable. Voidwalker's kind of nice to cast Rhinos, but it is also true that they're very vulnerable to the burn spells. Like, I think turning on like Fire Ice Bone Crusher is kind of a mistake, I guess. Probably a mistake. Have we tutored Citadel in any games? I think we did once today. I also tutored it last night against Blue-White Control, and it was absurd. It was absurdly good. It's also like, Citadel's also good with Profane Tutor, too. The Dauthi for the 10 months, appreciate you, because you get to cast this for 0 life. 10 months of Sweet Brews, hell yeah. Bloodsun seems to just nuke this deck. I mean, you still can activate Cabal Coffers, but and I don't think Bloodsun turns off Urborg. Does Bloodsun turn off Urborg? I think it's stupid, but I don't think it actually does. Yeah, Bloodsun only turns off, like, Castle Locthwain and the fetch lands. Did I talk about Sphere vs. Meat Hook Massacre? We did. Apparently, Sphere of Annihilation is not an artifact. I think I mulligan that hand. This hand's very good. I also thought that it was an artifact, but people keep saying it's not. It turns off Urborg. Okay, I think it does. Okay, I don't know. We've talked about it in the past, and I thought the conclusion we came to was that it did not turn off Urborg, but like I think it should. I think layers are dumb. Ban layers. All right, actually, suspending Crushing Footfalls is really good against my hand. Layers keep the game running. That sounds like layer apologies to me. Which is not something we tolerate on this stream. I think I'm not supposed to Thoughtseize here. It's kind of close, but even if they drew a Cascader, I've got the Damnation. I kind of just want to discard the still Liliana. So that was one of their 2 draws. It's actually like kind of bad for us if they Besage you my Urborg. They might Besage you my Cabal Coffers. It's like Bloodsun is like this Urborg ability is not a mana ability, correct? Correct. Bloodsun says it turns off all non-mana abilities of lands, correct? This is a land with a non-mana ability? Yes, that's right. Okay, so Bloodsun turns off Urborg. No, it actually doesn't because of layers. And so I'm not saying that like layers aren't important to like make the rules work. What I am saying is that like it is, I think, bad for the game that they work so unintuitively so often. I think that like when situations like come up like this, like I just don't understand. Like I don't understand layers well enough to understand why it works this way, but I do feel like it's bad that it works this way. I don't know if there's a way to change it, but I do think it's like legitimately bad for the game that it works this way. You know, like I think we should maybe change the rules if they work so unintuitively, and like kind of just like the cards say they do a thing, but they don't actually do a thing because of like this weird obscure rule that most players don't understand. Yeah, or like rearrange the layers to work in like a more intuitive way in these situations. Oh boy. So I drew 3. They lost 6. Blood Cryptid, play Valky, 7 mana Tybalt. I mean, we could just play any other expensive card. MTG needs to change how layers work and the Death Shadow Tarmogoyf Bolt interaction. I mean, I don't mind that interaction so much. Like, that's just like how, I don't know. That one I think is like not as confusing, but it's not like something I'm super passionate about, to be honest. It's also like Dress Down against Magus of the Moon is stupid too. It's like Magus of the Moon has an ability, right? That turns all lands into mountains? Yes. Dress Down says creatures lose all abilities? Yes. Okay, I'm going to Dress Down and then I can tap my lands for mana. Nope, nope, nope. It's just like, you know, so weird. Doesn't make any sense. It says they're calling for Damnation. I'll say calling for Force of Negation. Watch this, it can help you understand layers. Here's the thing, I'm not that interested in understanding layers. Like, I'm not that interested in it. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll watch it later, but like, I feel like I shouldn't need to like watch this super long video to be like, oh yes, I don't know why it has to work this way. I just don't think it does. Maybe I'm dumb. Smooth brain. Rearranging layer 4 and layer 6 actively would cause more problems than it would solve. I don't doubt you. I would be interested in hearing like an example of a problem, I guess, but I do believe you when you say that. Let me take a Teferi here. Yeah, I do believe you. I just would be curious to hear like an example, I guess. I kind of want to take an Ice Fang, maybe push up for Ephemerate on the other Ice Fang. They can't cast the counterspell. I mean, the counterspell is pretty good too. I can cast the counterspell, I guess. Lords is an example of a layer effect. Problem comes from Humility Opalescence. If Humility clobbers Opalescence, the Opalescence ability should make it no longer have Humility, which causes problems, I see. Final, thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate you as well. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I know I'm a big dummy, and I'm kind of talking a little out of turn, to be honest, because I don't really, I'm not a judge, but I am a streamer, so I'm allowed to have nothing but spicy hot takes. You like the swamp over the Red Rain Swamp? I do, yeah. I like the moon on the swamp. I like the glow there. The red one's good too. It's growing on me. Okay. I can wait a turn to try to blow them out with Ephemerate, or I can also just jam the Karn. I think I like waiting, because even if they don't jam the Ephemerate, there's a good chance they play the Omnath and I get to Fatal Push. Am I interested in becoming a judge? Nope. I love our judges. It's not something that interests me, even in the smallest amount. People who work on the rules, do you know these problems exist? I want the rules to be more intuitive. Yeah. I don't doubt it. I understand. Okay, so my Invoke Despair kills an Ice Fang. The red and 6/9 draw a card. It's not too bad. Prowess today, maybe. I did build the deck. The problem is I do lose my Delirium, my Revolt for Fatal Push. I think that I just have to be okay with that. You also lose 2 life. Hopefully I don't Spreading Seas my coffers. Can you see it? I'll post it later. I'm not you know, I usually like to wait till play the decks to post them. But I'll play it at some point. Maybe today, maybe not today. Just rearrange them. It's hard to tell that someone doesn't understand why this game works. Is it hard to tell that someone doesn't understand why the game even works? I don't know, man. I think you're being a little bit dramatic about it. I would say the majority of players don't understand how layers work. That's true, and you guys get to feel really smart and clever that you do, I guess. But you don't have to be condescending about it. Like, you know, all I care is about playing the game and you know, making sure I know what the rules are. I guess I don't really care about understanding why the game works. I just want to play the stupid game, you know. Go get the Torpor Orb here. Spreading Seas is rough. Yeah. Most people just I learn it case by case basis, understand it because they just don't care. I'm one of those people who just doesn't care. You know. I know we've talked about it for way too long. When do I take another look at Marty's Spellbox? At some point, maybe. We'll see. No, I'm not an Elden Lord yet either. Probably taking an L here. Matchup gets a little bit better post-board, I think, with the Tourachs. I'm also not convinced that this matchup is bad by itself. The Spreading Seas are rough, though. Spreading Seas are definitely really good against me. Yeah, still Maidenless, of course. Do I see Boreon being banned soon? No. I don't expect anything to be banned soon after a big shakeup like this. How's my progress in Elden Ring? It's pretty good, I think. I know I was mentioning how I was stuck. Now I feel like I've got nothing but places to go. I'm also like... I mentioned that I was stuck, then I beat like 7 or 8 boss fights in a row on my first try. So I definitely found where I was like supposed to go after being a little overpowered, I think. Yeah, I didn't play yesterday though. I'm probably not gonna get to play today. But I am itching to play some more. Okay, their hand is pretty shut down by this this Torpor Orb, huh? Our problem here, I guess, is this Teferi. I think I might just grab Wurmcoil Engine. Needle Teferi. We could Needle Teferi, but I'm kind of thinking that there's a good chance. Like, they can evoke Solitude here to kill my Karn. I just didn't think that they were going to. And so then I can cast Wurmcoil, Needle Teferi next turn. But also, I think we maybe are living if they bounce my Needle anyways. Still see. Yeah, I think if they evoked a Solitude there, it would be pretty screwed. It's kind of an easy line to miss, too. Glad we added this Wurmcoil to the board. Oh, they attacked me and not Karn. I guess that's fine. I got another Karn now. So I'm gonna get now I'm gonna get a Needle for Teferi, then cast the Wurmcoil. Hopefully they didn't draw a counter spell or prismatic ending. And hopefully the Wurmcoil takes us home. That Spreading Seas on our Cabal Coffers was so devastating too. Like, not only is Spreading Seas good against Cabal Coffers, it's also really good against Invoke Despair too. You get Coating off the seas. How does that work? I turn the seas into a creature. So I turn the seas into a creature, and then it falls off, and then what happens after it falls off? Does it just die? Yeah, Spreading Seas does turn off Urborg. Do you have an out to then block and blinking to deny lifelink? I don't think so with the Teferi in play. I mean, I could maybe just Karn for bridge. I agree that does seem like that's their line. Oh, we're dead to them having a fetch land too. So if I draw a land, I can get a bridge in play. Invoke Despair. Let's do anything here. Snuggles here for the deck? Hell yeah. I know you are. Yeah, I should have obviously thought a bit harder about this line that they're taking. So they're gonna block and ephemerate because of the Teferi. I don't. Are we playing it? We're not playing it, no. Of course not. I have 7 mana. I think I'm dead. When bridge doesn't matter because I can't get my hand empty. They have a 1/1 flyer. No, bridge doesn't save me. I also can't push the Ice Fang and Karn for bridge. I'm short. Attack first. I think I'll push the Ice Fang first, just see how they respond. Maybe they mess up and cast the Ephemerate. Yeah, I mean attacking first just doesn't accomplish. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, I can't bridge now. Do I have a way to answer the Yorion? No, of course not, right? They still have the flyer. The problem is they have Ephemerate to block and then Ephemerate. I'm just dead. I think. Is there anything I can draw off Invoke Despair? I don't even get to draw a card because they sack Eternal Witness, Spreading Seas to Fairy. Alright, I'll just see if they mess up, but they're not going to mess up. Alright, game 2. Okay, so we're going to bring in the extra copies of Tourach. No, I don't think Witch's Cottage is good. You just don't have enough creatures. But if you were playing a more creature-heavy version of this deck, then yeah, it would be pretty good. I want the Thirsts. I think I like the Cling. This card spells seem good. I think I can probably trim 1 push, 1 Liliana. Pretty easy. Bridge would have saved me. I didn't have enough mana to kill the Ice Fang and Karn for bridge. Ice Fang kills me if my card in play had 1 loyalty, so I couldn't minus. I didn't have enough mana to push the Ice Fang and Karn for bridge. You know, there's not any point in me saying this more than like the 2 or 3 times I already said it. Matthew Cabot, thank you for the 3 months. Appreciate you. I really do think Cloud looks good here. Yeah, so you get to finally assemble Cabal Coffers Urborg and a ton of mana. I think you get to kill all. Then you get to blow it up with Cabal Coffers Urborg. Yeah, Spreading Seas is really tough. Yeah, someone might have said it, but why didn't we card for bridge? Good question, Chatter. Good question. No one actually said anything about it. Yeah. Do you ever cite any of your Karn Tutor targets? Yeah, I think we did. We cited in the Needle against some deck. Oh, Goblins. I can mulligan this hand. Okay, this one's a bit more promising. Let's put back the Archon. Hand obviously needs to draw like an Expedition map or Profane Tutor or a Urborg, but you know that's a lot of outs to do that, or even just like another land or two maybe. Assuming the Thoughtseize is good here. Tourach is also very good in this matchup. Ah, oh, dude, the Spreading Seas is so brutal. But I feel like I have to take the Rin and 6. Yeah, I can take the Rin and 6, so then maybe I just can not play the Cabal Coffers into the Urborg. Or sorry, to the Spreading Seas. Oh, Profane Tutor is also not a very good draw now that they've got the Teferis. Oh, weird that they got Breeding Pool, not Triome. Oh, not weird anymore. The old Thoughtseize bug, huh? Guess we get to take the Spreading Seas now. This is Invoke Despair. Invoke Prejudice is a, you know, racist card. If they seize coffers, you get more mana. That is true. Okay, now opponent, you can Spreading Seas. Yeah, everything that's gone wrong this game, or could go wrong, has gone wrong. Take another draw. If we draw Urborg, we've got a chance. If not, we're gonna, you know, take the L. I didn't know inanimate objects could be racist. There's literally KKK hoods on it. The artist is a neo-Nazi, and it's called Invoke Prejudice. Like, to like pretend that Invoke Prejudice is not a super yikes racist card is just intentionally naive. Oh, we did draw the Urborg. Intentionally naive. Intentionally, like, you know, like it's ridiculous to argue that it's not. It is actually ridiculous. Toby Barobi, thank you for the 8 months, appreciate you. Drawn by an open neo-Nazi. KKK hoods in the figure, and it's also called Invoke Prejudice. You know, it's like, I just don't. And also, yes, inanimate objects can be racist. That's also like the stupidest take ever. You ever see a picture of a sign that says "whites only" over a water fountain? That's not racist. That's an inanimate object. What a stupid take too. Check that sign for life, officer. Yeah, you ever see a swastika? Come on. You can play around Veil of Summer, right? We also need to draw it out to answer to Ice Fang, or we're dead. I guess we're just dead. So, I mean, they're chump blocking. They have Infinite Veil of Summers. I wonder if we could beat Infinite Veil of Summers, huh? I mean, they only have Infinite Veil of Summers. How bad can that be, huh? Yeah, the gray banning of 2022. Not attacking there first was a little awkward. What was it? What would have attacking first accomplished? Because they just block with Ice Fang no matter what, right? Like it's just better to try to draw. Wait, are they really tapping out of Veil of Summer here? Dude, my opponent just tapped out of Veil of Summer. So I can attack and kill a Planeswalker. I can kill Wrenn and 6. Then I get to go Damnation, kick Bloodchief's Thirst, kill Teferi if I want to, then draw a card. I'm not actually playing the Ugin in this version. And we drew a Cabal Coffers too. Are we gonna win this game through like a Renblum? I don't know. We're probably not, but it is cool that we even are talking about it. We would have to draw something sick off the castle, like a Karn. Yeah. I don't know. We're doing better now than we were last turn. Just got cat combo. Okay, I do like to see the cat combo built as a more tap out deck. I really don't usually like to see counter spells here. I think you did good in that regard. I think iteration is not good in this kind of deck. I think your curve is too high. Yeah, I think your mana curve is too high for iteration, and like you also have access to, you know, Planeswalkers as your card advantage of choice. It really doesn't feel necessary to me to play Expressive Iteration in this deck. Like, I would maybe even like to see you play, like, Wall of Omens over Iteration and play the 4 Ephemerates. Wall of Omens, like, protecting your Saheeli is a pretty big deal. It's like -4 Iteration. Well, I mean, I have to draw the card here. Taking 3. They have Infinite Veil of Summer, so casting Position feels like a waste of time. Yeah, I don't think I like this Memory Deluge either that much. I would probably play, like, the second Jace instead. And I kind of like your split of March Otherworldly Light with the 4 Fury, 4 Solitude. I think that's fine. Oh, these Chalices are a little awkward with the Ephemerates, too. Maybe don't main deck the Chalices. I do kind of like the Blood Moons, though. Okay, so I can... Hold on. Let me take a turn here. So I can go... Map for Takenuma. This is so much mana, but, I mean... All we have is mana. And we don't really have anything to get back right now, but we can find a Karn off of this, which is, like, really all we have. Hopes. Like, the only thing that does anything in the Infinite Veil of Summers is the mono black deck, right? So we have to get a Tourach. So is there any reason to cast the Tourach? I don't really feel like there is. Let's pass, right? Yeah, I think I want to see you cut the Chalices, play 3rd Blood Moon, 2nd Jace, 4 Ephemerate, 4 Wall of Omens. I like maybe like 2 Maguses on the side, maybe just 1 Magus. I think that's fine. I don't love these Helixes though. I feel like I'd rather play Blossoming Calm for burn or better removal spells for removal matchups, but Helix is kind of like a mediocre sideboard card, I feel. My opponent is just not doing anything. This is so weird. Alright, I think those are my thoughts. Yeah, they have Rin 6 and Veil. They have literally Infinite Veil of Summers. Like, I just have to draw Karn. Karn is like the only card that does anything. Okay, I've got a second Urborg. Tourach just seems mediocre in this deck. Tourach, I mean, Tourach's pretty mediocre against the Infinite Veil of Summer deck, I agree. I mean, Tourach's a sideboard card. We have 1 Tourach main as a Profane Tutor target. I think it's pretty good as a Profane Tutor target. And we have 2 in the side for big mana combo control where Tourach shines. But what is the removal for Tourach? I mean, yeah, maybe the thing is, I don't want to cast a black spell and let them cycle like draw 4 cards and just kill me. Like, I want them to be stuck on lands and Veil of Summers and draw a card. That's the only way I could possibly win. Like, it's not about them having removal. It's about them getting just like draw 4 cards. Tourach grows with retreats. That's not the point. I just lose if they get to draw 4 cards there. Ooh, another Yorion deck. Well, we can maybe get some redemption here. Yeah, I hate to say it. I hate to say the words. They hurt me. They physically hurt me to say the horrible words. Phyrexian Obliterator is not playable in Modern, but someone's got to say it, man. Someone's got to say it, and unfortunately, it has to be me. It's like poison coming out of my mouth. Ooh, at least this is a Elementals deck, huh? I kind of want to leave them with the Ren and 6 because I've got the Bloodchief's Thirst, so they don't have a fetch land. I think that makes sense. Let me take the Risen Reef. I haven't played Gen Sack yet this metagame. It's pretty high on my to-do list. We'll probably play it sometime this week. Maybe we'll get distracted with other stuff. I'm kind of trying to make it a kind of a goal of mine to stick a little bit longer with decks, though, because I feel like I've had an issue lately where there's so much to do. There's so much to do. Like, this is a very cool deck we're playing. I just don't spend a lot of time with decks. I think I'll take the ending because I really can't. I need to play the map this turn, I think. And if they like Eldarmer's Call for Risen Reef, I get to pop map, push the Reef. I think we'll probably be fine. So I'm just trying to spend like a little bit more time with decks than I have been, because I think that's been a problem where I just like play like 1 league or 2 of a cool deck, and I just like move on and kind of forget about it. The difference between Elementals and 4-color Mono Pyle's edition of Risen Reefs, yeah. And Elodomir's Call is not, usually a money pile. Okay, they did hit a land. So there's Abundant Growth, Written 6 mystery card. Maybe they're not playing Spreading Seas too. We definitely need to find some gas, but we do have a lot of mana at least. We've got a lot of gas in the deck. I guess Yorion might be their line this turn. Alright. No known cards in hands. Big draw step for us. Not a big draw. I think I'll just hide the Cabal Coffers for now. It's not like I can draw gas and Cabal Coffers all at one turn, right? I think it 0-1 artifact changing 0 mana would see a ton of play. I mean, probably not a ton of play, but some probably. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Kicker and Liliana Plus. This maybe can get the stop them from being able to deploy Yorion. It's not super likely. Probably wouldn't crazy to get Castle over Urborg. Yeah, I think you have to get the Urborg first. And that is what's nice about the maps though, is like the next map becomes a castle, becomes a card advantage engine. They have another Fury. It's bad. I guess I could have played around that by edicting, but I think like knowing that they have Yorion Plussing is probably better. We also have a lot of good top decks. I think I probably have to play that. Yeah, they also don't currently have the Yorion in the hand. I can draw Invoke Despair, Karn, Liliana, Tourach. I can't Archon. I'm 1 mana short of Archon. Castle's not bad at all. Castle's actually really good. We have four castles in the deck. Okay. It's okay. And now we're drawing 2 cards a turn. My opponent also forgot about Yorion, or they're holding up Solitude, which is kind of great for me. Thoughts on 4 mana tutor over Profane. Any 4 mana tutor in Modern is, or like Mastermind's Acquisition is completely unplayable in Modern. You could maybe talk about Cruel Tutor over Profane Tutor, but Profane Tutor is so good with Cabal Coffers Urborg because Cabal Coffers Urborg starts generating you mana on turn 4, and that's when Profane Tutor comes off suspend. And so Profane Tutor is another way to enable Cabal Coffers Urborg and have this be like a really consistent plan, which is just not the case. Which is just not the case when it comes to a 4 mana Mastermind's Acquisition. Yeah, sorry. It's Grim Tutor. I keep calling Grim Tutor Cruel Tutor. I don't know why. I've never cast a Cruel Tutor in my entire life. But yeah, Grim Tutor is modern legal. I really think Profane Tutor is better. Not costing you life, making your Cabal Coffers Urborg active turn 4 for 2 mana instead of 3 mana. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Right, a lot of good draws. That's not one of them. Brickadelphia. Why didn't I channel? What's the point of channeling when I didn't have the mana. It's 4 mana to channel. But what's the point of channeling if I'm just plussing Liliana anyways? Maybe channel first, but then I can't play the Liliana. Besiege to conditional? I think so. It's also, Besiege is also 3 mana. Like, a 3 mana tutor and a 2 mana tutor is really different. It's also true, like, I don't think people understand, like, how strong Profane Tutor is as well. Like, starting your turn with a 0 mana demonic tutor is super powerful. Like, I know that it takes 2 turns to come off suspend, but those turns where Profane Tutor comes off suspend, it's stronger than demonic tutor a lot of the time. Like, letting you use your full mana for whatever you get it is a really big deal, and I think that's kind of easy to forget. I'm probably going to draw it off the castle here. No, it's the land. Bummer. I really thought we were going to claw back from this one. Okay, so let me play the Tourachs here. Yeah, I'm getting pretty flooded. Yeah, like, Profane Tutor is better than the other targets. I really don't think we need to spend. too much time talking about this, but we probably will because this is our Twitch chat, huh? Yeah. I will say that like there's definitely like again there's a lot of ways to build this deck. I actually even I was so productive yesterday. I also was working on like just the mono black reanimator version where you play like 4 tutor, persist, armor grave, 4 archon. But this version felt like really weak to graveyard hate because you're not splashing a color, and then we have Godless Shrine for Brides. Just this version ended up feeling better. But at the very least, I really do believe in this package of cards. Like I think there's a lot of ways to build this. I think playing Karn and the cheap black interaction is good, but this has felt powerful. This engine of Cabal Coffers, Urborg, Expedition Map, Castle Locthwain, Profane Tutor. This has been like very consistent to get Cabal Coffers, Urborg, while also interacting with your opponent in the early game and getting to play like whatever you want on curve. So, not to say you can't build it with like, you know, there's a lot of mono black cards in the format. A lot of them aren't that good, but a lot of them are legal. But like this is the part of the deck I really believe in. Can this deck be a Saga deck? I don't think so. I think like sacrificing your Saga to like just having one less land in play in your Cabal Coffers deck seems really bad. Cabal Coffers or Saga is also like not really good in a deck that without a ton of cheap artifacts or a super synergistic card to tutor for. I don't know why this would be a good Saga deck. Or at least at the very least like this is the kind of Saga deck that you play Saga if you are one of those people that thinks Urza Saga is a broken card that goes in literally every single deck. There are people who think that. I think that they're wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong too. But I don't think that I am not of the opinion Urza Saga is a broken card that goes in literally every single deck. But if you do play Urza Saga in a deck like this, like you can have that take, and that's why you would be playing it. Can I search Promise of Power? I use one of my mono black coffers. All right, I'll do it because you are a first chime chatter. And I also am not familiar with the card. I hope it's sick. 5 mana, choose 1. You draw 5 cards and lose 5 life. Make an X black demon token where X number of cards in your hand entwine 4. It's a pretty cool card. I will say that's a lot of life to lose though. I think we'll just go to Damnation here. If they play Reserve next turn, we go push plus Suspend Tutor. It is a very cool card, but like losing 5 life on your card draw spell is pretty rough. It's a lot of life. Magda, 1/1 counter, enters battlefield, target player loses life equal to the number of counters on it. Yeah, if we could play Demonic Tutor, I'd play Demonic Tutor, I think. Thinking a Prismatic Ending, that's fine. So there has Risen Reef, Mystery card. I can Suspend Tutor, push the Reef, or just kick Tourach if I draw land. Right, deal. Well, creature lands. If we're going to play creature lands, we would play Hive of the Eye Tyrant. I think you can play at least the first Hive. I decided not to. I think you're probably not actually going to tutor for it very often. And it entering tapped is like feels like a big cost in this deck too. But yeah, that is the land you'd play if you were going to look to play one. You're going to top in. It doesn't die on Holy Heat. I think that Archon's better, but or at the very least, like Ugin is bad in some matchups. Like and at the very least, Archon is always pressuring your opponent's hand. I do think you could do that. I'm gonna push now so their 2 cards can't be land Ephemerate. Like they would draw Ephemerate and have untapped white source in hand. Any cards almost made the cut but didn't. Yeah, there's like a lot of Karn tutor targets that almost made the cut. There's a lot of options. Ugin with Painter's Servant as a wish target. Oh, that's super cool, but probably not all that good. But yeah, you could play Ugin. You could play Karn, Liberated. I think that I really like the Archon so far. Especially because one thing is that like most decks out to Archon is bouncing the Archon of Cruelty, right? And And or at Holy Heat, but like a lot of decks like bounce it to Fairy, or like Rhinos bounces it with Brazen Borrower, but you just get to replay it, which I think is pretty cool. We are gonna grab it here. It's also, I guess, lethal. Is Sphere of Annihilation motion for Hammer Time? Hammer Time Rhinos Affinity, but yeah. Okay, going to game 3 against the Elementals version of Money Pile. These Profane Tutors not looking hot. I just cast an Archon of Cruelty off one. I don't know what you want. Again, like I also don't think people really understand the Profane Tutors, but it's like this is your engine of the deck. Is Expedition Map, Profane Tutor, Cabal Coffers, Urborg. Like your Cabal Coffers Urborg plan becomes so much more consistent with Profane Tutor, because like you get 5 mana on turn 4 when you have Cabal Coffers Urborg, and Profane Tutor like is very good at finding you that missing piece for 0 mana on turn 4. Lets you cast Invoke Despair. It's just like a really big deal. Maybe people are understanding that, but like I feel like it looked pretty good that turn. I don't know. Put a Mold into play. Got a Thoughtseize. Got a pretty good hand here. Does need to draw some lands. Extra Tourach's not very good draw. That's a Fairy. Why Dauthi over Artifacts or Graveyard? Because it can clock 2. We have 4 Fatal Push, 2 Damnation in the main deck. It's really important against big mana combo and control that we can side those cards out for the 2 Tourachs and the Voidwalkers. Could you brew some green-black deck that accelerates a bird? I mean, I thought about playing Elvish Reclaimer. I think that the mono-black shell is better. No, I think I just need to hold up the push to kill the Risen Reef here. No, I'm not ever going to put Erebos' Intervention in the deck, I think. Okay, we've got the Thirst for that. I obviously need to draw lands. Torments of Hailfire is a meme. Don't play it. Imagine playing around Ephemerate. I would never. I think I would cast a Tourach. I think, no, you lose Revolt and you can't push the Risen Reef if you cast Tourach. I think that's just too big of a problem. Like if I could keep Revolt because like my other land were Urborg, then sure, but I think not having Revolt is just too big a cost. So if I cast Liliana and my opponent Furies, it's a big problem. I think I just pass. Could play the Tourach, but they've got the Fury. I think there's like a decent chance they just cast the Fury as a creature and I get to Edict it. I have played Elves on stream a few times, yeah. I like Elves. I've liked Liliana. I think Liliana's pretty good. Omnath's pretty good too, huh? So they're not casting the Fury, they're casting Abundant Growth. Yorion in the hand. Okay, we need to draw land and snipe the Yorion with Tourach, or we're going to lose. Step 1. Step 1. 2 in 5 chance. Failed our step 2. We did get the Fury, which is, I guess, a consolation prize. Oh, I got the second Tourach. Is there any chance that they don't cast the Yorion? Probably not a chance, no. Well, they get to draw 3 cards. We Tourach 2 of them. We've got the 4/3 to block the Omnath, maybe. Step 1, play a new deck. Step 2, argue about the list with chat for 5 hours. Yep. Welcome to the stream, huh? I rent cards, Div. This is the new channel land, Takanuma. Sladnaz, thank you for the 3 months. Appreciate you. So, yeah, Invoke Despair is so bad, making them like one of the boats here is USAC and Abundant Growth. I think I just need to Tourach this turn. I probably shouldn't have fetched, but whatever. Discard another Omnath and a Risen Reef. I mean, if they're a little flooded here, we could get out of this spot. The Pro White from Tourach is pretty relevant. If they have another Fury, another Bolt, we're obviously probably going to lose. This matchup seems tough. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. No, we didn't... Like, our Karn for Torpor Orb is a big part of this matchup that we didn't... we didn't get to... what does this do? Land, counter, elementals, 8 or more lands, draw a card. Yeah, we're 2-0, play against 2 4-color decks. Maybe just losing now. This isn't even white for my Tourach to have protection from. I mean, a Damnation maybe gets me back into this. There's Karn. Maybe too little, maybe too late. I think I need to Invoke Despair here. What stinks is, like, I only get to draw 1 card because they have the Abundant Growths to sacrifice. But they do sacrifice this Omnath. We can block here, and then we can potentially hide behind an Ensnaring Bridge. But I guess that was really an only option if we hit runner lands, which we're not going to get to do. So, like, I can't, like, it just any land lets to draw a card, goes to 5/5, then I'm chump blocking. Okay, they get Fury and kill me. Okay, bummer. 2-0 into 2-2, sad. Okay, solid hand. Where did the new trials make money 5-color pile versus 5-color pile forever until time stops? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. People just don't understand, like people don't understand the Yorion deck, really. Like, people lose to the Yorion deck because they're playing a fair deck like this. They're playing like a Rectus mid-range deck, a Shadow deck, a Murktide deck. These are all the decks that the 4-color Omnath deck preys on. But what they don't understand is that the 5-color Omnath deck has a lot of terrible matchups to the format. It is horrible against Belcher, against Titan, it's bad against Tron, it's bad against, like, basically every linear big mana combo deck, you know? It's also, like, it's terrible against Wilderness Reclamation. It has so many, like, awful matchups. And, like, people just don't understand that because they don't play the matchups that Omnath is good against. Or bad against. Yeah, that's the problem. Absolutely. The 4-color Omnath deck is good against everyone's pet deck. I absolutely agree. That's the problem. We're playing against the Shadow list. I think I'm just gonna pass. For your budget mono black deck, you said you like Hive of the Eye Tyrant. This mono black deck is the reason as well. Yeah, the tap land is more awkward, and obviously you're also playing Cabal Coffers in this list, which I also think is a bit more awkward than you'd ideally like. I think I'm discarding Liliana. Maybe the Thoughtseize in case they have ending. So 4-color versus mid-range combo big mana, the format capo. Well, that you've missed. There's the other rock paper scissors. Your pet deck, like the cheap decks that are good, that 4-color Omnath is good against, are good against the big mana combo control, right? If it it wouldn't be 4-color versus big mana combo control. The big mana combo control would just be crushing these decks, but that's not the case. Yeah, not making any mana with the coffers here, unfortunately. I think they're a little flooded. Why did they? Oh, did they build? They kept also like a really bad hand, right? Like 5 lands Ragavan is not a keep even on 6. It's pile versus linear decks. Yeah, you don't understand. Like the other decks that you like, the decks that Money Pile beats are still playable. They have a bad matchup against Money Pile, but they're better against the linear decks. They also, it's not like they only ever lose to Money Pile. Oh, my opponent is main decking the Fulminator Mages. Wow. They didn't bolt in response to the plus. Yeah, Wilderness Reclamation, like, when I was playing Wilderness Rec, I was like 8-0 against 4-color Omnath. Like, I don't know. Listen, I know that the Yorion deck is boring. I know that it's, like, frustrating to play against. You're preaching to the choir. I understand. But, you also, like, you don't need to make, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the arguments here just don't make any sense. Like, yeah, it just, like, people are just frustrated against it. They want to complain about it, I think, is honestly feels like what it boils down to. My friend got banned from the chat this morning. Anyway, to help him get unbanned, he can put in a unbanned request. I can take a look at it later. No push mage. I didn't have revolt. Don't really know why we need to push the mage. Yorin feels so beatable without counter magic. Yeah, you just need to play like play a linear deck. Play Goblin Charbelcher. Play Primeval Titan. Play Ugin's Tower. But you could also play like Tourach is also like a way for you to interact, I suppose. Am I just gonna Edict the Fulminator Mage? I guess so. 4-color versus Amulet isn't that bad. It's like a 60-40 matchup for Amulet in my opinion. Like I know that they have Solitude, but then they have 4 Solitudes in their 80-card deck, and like they really don't have much other game in the matchup. And it's also true, like most of the matchups that you're complaining about 4-color on math, like they're winnable as well. Like I don't know. We could move on. This conversation's kind of boring, to be honest. Okay, what are we getting here? I might get Cling to Dust. I might also get Cabal Coffers. Could get Karn. We can get the Karn, I guess. What am I tutoring with Karn though? Probably maybe Karn's not good. I'm 1 mana short of Invoke Despair. I would probably get it if I had enough mana. Coating? Yeah, Coating's just not that relevant against them. They can just cast all their spells forever. Or like their curve is so low. I think I actually like Cling to Dust. I know it seems weird, but it's just like I think it'd be a pretty good recursive card advantage engine here. Does it feel like a Shadow deck? Well, it kind of looks. They're playing an Obosh deck. They're playing Street Wraith instead of like the. I don't know what they're playing over Street Wraith, but it looks like a deck I was playing kind of recently. Okay, they put Obosh in their hands. Okay, I'm not too scared of the Obosh. I'll just grab a Coffers here and then be set up for next turn pretty well. I think I will Liliana before invoking just so I can draw more cards. We look at the Cantor Lotuses. I've seen them. I think they're fine. So get their last card out of their hands. And then I think I'm not going to channel. I'll just play this as a swamp. And then we got 19 life. We could maybe have some fun. With a Bolas's Citadel. Cast Expedition map. Opponent says no fun for us. May with 2 months, appreciate you. I'm not going to sideboard super heavily in this matchup. I think I'm going to cut the 4th Thoughtseize for like 2nd Tourach. Has Sundering Titan been answered already? Yeah, you could play a Sundering Titan. I don't think it feels like a mandatory card to me, but you could play a Sundering Titan if you wanted to. Where's my current Goblin sideboard? I haven't updated it super recently. You could look at the Stream Decker to whatever it was last time. It's probably not that different. I'm not sure. I can't get how you win with Citadel with this average CMC. I mean, you don't have to cast that many cards for Citadel to be good. You know what I mean? It's also like definitely it's also a card that you tutor more so in matchups where your life total is less relevant, right? So like against control, like your life total is gonna be 20, and you get Citadel and you cast 5 spells immediately and you win the game. And, you know, we're obviously not tutoring it very often against more interactive decks, right? Is Sphere good here? Sphere of Annihilation? Well, again, it would be fine to board in, but this is mostly a Karn the Great Creator tutor target. So if I play this map, it can get Kolaghan's commanded, so I think I just pass. Yeah, Profane Tutor is part of the engine to assemble Cabal Coffers Urborg on turn 4. If I draw a basic swamp, we may just like Expedition map for a basic swamp so they can't Fulminator Mage anything. We'll see what we draw here, I guess. We did draw a basic swamp, so we have the option to tutor up a basic swamp so they can't kill any land with Fulminator Mage. I think that's probably going to be fine. Too tantalized by no perfusion. No, like again, what I like about the mono black Coffers deck is the Cabal Coffers Urborg engine. I think that Cabal Coffers Urborg is not an excuse to play horror. Like I played against the no perfusion. The card looks so bad. Like it just did nothing for 6 mana. Like I don't think that this engine is an excuse to play like the goofy cards. I think the engine is powerful, so I'm trying to maximize it. We do have Cabal Coffers Urborg here. Gonna Damnation. They can't kill anything with Fulminator Mage. I think Sundering Titan's fine. Not mandatory, but fine. They can Kolaghan's Command to make me discard a card and return a creature if they want. Coffers also gave 4 mana, but the problem is they get to Fulminator Mage to kill the Cabal Coffers in response to Damnation. Fulminator Mage only destroys non-basic lands. But if we just eyeball basics, then we don't get our land blown up. So we have 6 mana here, right? 5 mana. No, 6 mana. I think I'm gonna Tourach. Could be correct to just like grab a Wurmcoil. Tourach seems pretty good here. So Bolt, and his Ragavan, 2 mystery cards. See if we hit the Ragavan, we do. And another Lightning Bolt. Karn for map. I actually sided out the map. Or sorry, I took the map out of the board. It looks like they're just straight red-black. Red-black unearth. So I'm dead to a fetch land. Okay, well. Easy Invoke Despair to not be dead to a fetch land. They still have the Obosh in the hand, though. But I get to kill a shadow, draw 2 cards. And then I'm going to have a lot more mana with the Cabal Coffers next turn. I'm going to have 10 mana. So I'll have enough to Karn and cast Wurmcoil all in one go if I want to. Is this deck's biggest weakness the limitations of the black card pool, or the fact that it frenzies in the chat trying to fit their pet card into it? Well, I mean, the deck doesn't have a weakness of chats trying to fit their pet cards in. Just me. But yeah, I do think that the limitations of the black card pool are somewhat a problem. I think that you've identified that correctly. But I think the Karns fit really well into the shell. I think the Karns make a lot of sense to me, but they're also not mandatory, I think. Do you think Mono Black Devotion can be competitive? I don't know. I don't think that there's really legs there. Alright, so they're gonna make me block. This deck gets bodied by any copies of Veil. Yeah, I know. We got bodied by Veil earlier. Thoughts on pre-modern and other formats like them? I like some kind of more casual formats like that. I used to play a lot of Tiny Leaders. Used to play a lot of EDH. I guess I'm open to thinking about those decks, those formats again, but they haven't interested me too much in a while, I guess. Can I Wishclaw for something? I think I could Wishclaw for Liliana for the win. Yeah. As far as pre-modern specifically goes, I guess I'll do Invoke Despair. As far as pre-modern specifically goes, I think like the main reason to play that format is nostalgia for the cards you get to play in pre-modern. Okay, 3-2 into 3-2. Do at least one more league. So like if you played a lot in that era, like you get to like nostalgia is a huge driving factor for playing those cards, I think. And it's all before my time, so I'm not really nostalgic for any of the cards.